All right, barring any major breakdown, should have a good day of shelling corn today, and hopefully a good day tomorrow as well. Although tomorrow's only gonna be about a half day, 'cause the elevator doesn't open till 11. They're open till 6 today. Tomorrow they're open from 11 to 6. Today they were open from 8, or gonna be open from 8 to 6. We've already passed 8 o'clock. Got over here this morning with my pickup. Blew the radiator out on this thing, because I noticed when I was running it the other day, she was getting a little on the warmer side. There was stuff in between the oil coolers and the radiator. Got all that blew out, got it running, and it did what I was hoping. I had the heat turned all the way up and the blower turned all the way up, because the windows were just a solid wall of water this morning. So she's all dried off now. It's warm enough I'm actually going to lose my coat, but get this picked off real quick, haul it in so I get my yield off, or get my yield off this field, and then we'll move on to the next 8 acres. All right, shouldn't take too long to pick this off, maybe 10-15 minutes, but I have to take it a little easy because the stalks are so wet. Don't want to be slugging anything. Field's done. I'm hoping for a little bit more of a hopper out of it, but it didn't do too bad. I had the bubble up auger was about half buried, so I probably could have got, whoops, about 10-12 more bushel in there maybe. Oh, that's a decent little pile in there. Got some surface moisture on it. It was stacking, but this field was the second load once I got off the Endros, so Dad's truck. That one was down to 16.5. So, but I had that guy and jumped off the sprocket, it would appear. No. Okay, it's still on the sprocket. Why is it loose? Interesting. We will have to investigate this real quick. Is this one loose? No, that one's not loose. Why is that one loose? I see why it's loose. This little weld here broke on this tab that holds the spring tension, so that's an easy fix. We just got to run it back to the shop real quick and burn that weld back in. So I guess I'll haul that load in, and I got to put fuel in my truck, and then we can go back to Dad's, and he can bring me over to get the combine, take it back. That's like a 10-minute fix, and then we can head to the next field. So that makes me feel better. No major parts are broke. We just need to fix a weld. I can do that. All right, here we are at the field where I had all that deer damage in the beans last year, and I ended up with 19 bushel an acre. My cousin, after I got the beans off of it, my cousin took 6 deer off, and as you can see, didn't do a shitting bit of good. There. I just ripped the ear clean off of that one. This is all laid down. That one's gone. Been eating on that one. That one's gone. Been nibbling on that one. It's just friggin' ridiculous. I guess we'll see how we end up doing. And he can't hunt out here this year because the one of the neighbors called the DNR on him, said he was out here hunting with an automatic rifle, which he wasn't. And the landowner has an AR-15 registered in his name, so then the DNR called him and tried to give him a bunch of hell, saying he was out here shooting deer with an AR, and he just didn't want the mess anymore. So now Nathan can't hunt out here anymore. So stupid. But anyhow, shell off a spot where I can park the truck, and then I'm gonna have Shelly come get me to go get the truck, and then I'll just shell and haul the day by myself. So should be at least get this one done today, and then we'll go get everything moved to the next field and have it that tomorrow. So we'll see how things turn out. Alright, let's get these first end rows off and see how bad it really is. dirt in all honesty. It's got some wet spots in it, but those can be dealt with. They just have to be willing to, I can't remember how big this actual chunk of property is. It's got a house and stuff on it that's all kind of nasty, falling down. I wouldn't want none of that, but if they parcel me off this field and enough ground to make it a full 10-acre rectangle, then just turn my cousin loose out here and tell him we're not farming deer. If it's brown, shoot it. That's half the problem around here is the guys that do hunt, they only want big stuff, and a lot of them only really go after bucks. There's not enough guys shooting does. Tree down right here. under 17 because I was dry enough to go right straight to the ground pile. short staffed for the weekend, so they're only running one side of the pit, so we don't have to keep crossing over, but that's neat. This will be my second load over here so far. Everything else has been across the streets. If you're over 17, they run it through the dryer. If you're under 17, they just dump it in the pile. But this is Shelly's first trip to the elevator.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No.
When did you ride with me?
Last year.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's not. Whoops. Load number 2, load number 3's already started because there's still some in the hopper. I might be able to cram it all in there, but I'm not gonna try. That first load was 16.1, and that was the Endro, so I'm curious to see if we dump on or jump under 16. Now that I'm in the middle of the field, and this stuff's flowing about like water, so no sense in trying to stack it and losing any going down the road. Just went down. I got 45 minutes to get these 20, well, I got 45 minutes to get back down there before they close. I got 20 rows left, so 2.5 rounds. If I can get the truck loaded here in the next about 15-20 minutes, I'll have enough time. So got a scoop. got another good little pile on the truck. I have like 926, 927 bushels so far, so this will push me over 1,000. I can't remember exactly how many, it's like 7 point something, so we'll see where we end up. But I got just enough time to get down there, so we gotta turn and burn. Alright, so the field we finished up at the beginning of this video, that little 5-acre piece, that ran 135. And then this field we just finished up ran 142.5, basically. So, I mean, you plan for 150 or you fertilize for 150, you lose 7.5 bushel to whatever. Which I guarantee you, if it wasn't for all the deer damage out in the back, basically the back 25 yards of that field didn't contribute anything all the way across. Plus what you lose on the end rows because of the trees. I bet I lost 150, 175 bushel out of that field right off the top before we even did anything. So it was probably well over 150 in reality. This is one of those years where I really wish I had a yield monitor so that I actually knew what the good corn was running to determine just how bad the bad spots pulled everything down. Because the way it was going into the tank, that was well north of 140 bushel corn. But because let's just say that I lost an acre. Let's say that I lost 1 acre, which is probably not being generous enough. So let's do 1104 divided by 6.75. So if I lost at a minimum of an acre, all of a sudden that turns into 163.5 bushel corn. And there was at least an acre back there that basically didn't contribute anything. So you gotta have that, or you gotta say that number because it's truthful, because you planted 7 3/4, and that's what you got off the 7 3/4 you planted. But if you figure in reality, that number's false. But it is what it is. So it just makes you look bad, is all it does. And it doesn't help that with the drought, the ear size, as far as girth and length, is actually normal. I mean, most of them are 16. They're probably averaging 16 around and 32 to 35 long, but the kernels are just tiny. Apparently that drought hit right at the time to screw up kernel fill, and they just got small. So it takes a lot more. Same thing with baby beans. It takes a lot of BBs to make up the same amount as, you know, normal hockey pucks. So, but that's a lot better than under 140, so I can live with that. But I'm gonna go grab the combine, blow it off, run it back to my house. If I got enough daylight, I'm gonna try to grease it and fuel it up yet tonight, and then I'll stuff it in my barn. That way it doesn't gotta sit out and get dewed on again. And then rather than going to Chisel Pond tomorrow morning, we're just going to keep on shelling corn. So I guess we'll just continue this video into tomorrow, and I'll get going early and hopefully get both trucks full before the elevator opens at 11. And we can finish up the next 11 acres tomorrow. And if I get done with that, we'll just call it an early day, and I'll get stuff ready. And then Monday we're going to go do some chisel plowing so I can get stuff ready to get cover crop spread on it so that we can catch some decent weather and hopefully get that stuff sprouted, because what's the weather supposed to be this week? Oh wow, well shit. Tuesday and Wednesday we're in for 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That doesn't really bode well for spreading. Monday's supposed to be nice, and then Thursday we got a chance of rain. So I guess we'll just have to see how things play out. Then next week we got some rain. So if we get rain, if I get some chisel plowing done Monday, we can go back to shelling corn Tuesday, because you can't spread in 40-mile-an-hour winds. And then if we get rain Thursday, can't spread Thursday, but if it's nice Friday, we can get it spread Friday. And then next week we got rain a good chunk of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. The chances are kind of meh, but there are chances. So if we get spread Friday and get some rain on it sometime, it should sprout. So anyhow, we'll catch you guys in the morning continuing shelling corn. Well, I'm already starting off today in a bad mood. Brought the combine over this morning and saw just how bad this field really is. Deer damage, all deer damage. You can see there's friggin' tracks and crap everywhere. I had a guy tell me that's raccoons. No, this is most definitely deer. Deer, all deer. One or two deer, they'll walk down a row. Like, there is no corn up here. One or two deer, they'll walk down a row. They'll do that. A whole herd, they'll do this. This is deer. This is what deer damage looks like when your deer population is out of control. I am sick and tired of this shit. And this field used to be hunted. Got new owners. New owners like deer. They didn't want anybody hunting out here. Well, they and I are going to have a little bit of a talk, because seeing that, I am scared to put beans out here because there will be nothing left to harvest. It'll be one of those deals. Then you get up in the combine, you can see a great big old hole laid out of the center of this part. I'm scared to see what it looks like out back. People are probably getting tired of me bitching. Well, those people don't understand just how bad it is. It is terrible. I saw a thing, I was doing a little looking just out of curiosity because I wanted to know. The deer population in Michigan is estimated to be somewhere between 1 and 2 million. That was the closest number I could find. Nobody didn't get anything more specific. And last year, hunters only took off about 250,000. So you have, at a minimum, 750,000 deer that can repopulate exponentially. Like the growth, this is not sustainable. We cannot keep doing this. The DNR's gonna have to pull their head out of their ass and either have a no tag limit season so we can cull the herd and get these things down to something manageable, or they're gonna have to, something's got to give here. We can't keep doing this shit. It doesn't look terrible from here, but we won't know till I get up in the cab of the combine and see over top of it. But this is ridiculous. Like, this field historically actually grows some pretty darn good corn. Not gonna happen this year. We gotta feed them. They're God's creatures. Well, God's creatures have probably cost me somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000 this year. Yeah, screw that. All the hunters around here are all up in arms because of that, it's called, what's it called, EHD. Whenever that fly that bites them and gives them something and basically makes them insatiably thirsty, and then they go to water and die, and it's been killing all the bucks. All the hunters are all up in arms because they're losing all their bucks. I'm over here going, yeah, let them burn. The same hunters are the ones that don't want to shoot little does. They only want to shoot big does, so they let the little does turn into big does, and now you have does that are capable of having twins and triplets, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. Everybody wants to shoot bucks. We'll tell you what, a buck can't make more deer if it's just a buck. Does, they can make 2-3 more deer. This is not sustainable. Something's got to change. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to start giving up ground solely for the fact that the deer population can't be controlled and it's unfarmable now solely because of the deer. For no other reason than that. And that's so anyhow, there's my rant. Hopefully this does better than what I think it's gonna do, and I can calm down a little bit, but I don't have very high hopes because this is just not good. see how this field did because it had all that clover. They had volunteers sprouted, and I plowed it down green. I was kind of curious to see how that affected it, and this ain't gonna be a good indicator. Acres in a field that normally averages in the 170s, just averaged less than 100 bushel an acre because the deer ate off that entire hillside. And this side probably ain't gonna be a whole lot better. I was literally driving the entire length of the field and not seeing a single kernel fall into the hopper. These landowners and I are gonna have a serious talk, because they're gonna have to get somebody out here to take care of this, or I'm gonna have to quit farming it, because I can't plant beans out here. There will be nothing. There will be 11 acres of dirt. Need to feed the deer. Yeah, fuck the deer. this mess is done, it did manage to pull up above 100 bushel an acre. How far, I don't know yet, but I had a tick over 1,000 bushel hauled in before Dad took in. He brought my truck and took his truck in so I could get everything off of this and hauled in before the elevator closed. So I had 1,000 bushel hauled in before that. He had not quite a full load, I'm guessing about 250. So I knew I was going to end up with a partial, so I wanted to have at least a decent load in it so they could probe it. So there's probably about 125 in here, so I guess we'll just have to see. But I'm going to try to get everything moved around and at least start opening up another field. Okay, the results are in. 1,433 bushels and some change. If you do it as a whole, the whole thing averaged 130, I think 130 and a half ish, which impresses the hell out of me. If you do them separate, that side, the 3.5 over there, averaged 94, and this side averaged 146. So, and for this side to average 146 with all this gone up here, basically the first 16 gone along that side, the first 8 gone along this side, this back probably like 5 acres, whatever this little nubbin turns out to be back in here, that stuff was pulling hard to make this average 146 and to bring the entire average up to 130. That's the sad part, is that was some damn good corn back down in that this low ground. Judging by how the way it was coming through the bubble up auger, I'm guessing somewhere in the neighborhood of 170, which is normally about what this field runs. I was about a full truckload short of what this field normally runs. So I figure that kind of deer damage. I'm gonna have to, well, I need to talk with these people that own this place and see if I can get somebody out here hunting it again so we can start taking care of that problem, because like I say, I can't plant beans out here if they're gonna be like that, because it's gonna end up 11 acres of dirt by the time it's said and done. And I'm gonna have to get a call out to the DNR and see if I can be like preloaded for a block permit next year. And hopefully it'll cover all my ground, not just like a specific field, because everything needs somebody hunting on it. And hopefully if I can just get like pre-gaming and get all that stuff ready so I can start dropping them as soon as they become a problem next spring. But we shall see. So anyhow, on to the next field, get it opened up, get hopefully at least 1 truck, if not 2 loaded yet tonight. Okay, this should be some decent corn. There's no deer pressure out here. There's a few wet spots to contend with, but other than that, which if there's anything that's going to hold this field back, it's going to be the wet spots. But wet spots are easier to deal with than deer damage. machine. First time since I've had it that I've had that happen. But we're close enough to home. It's just going to be easier to run it back to the house where we got tools and take care of it, because I don't have the slug bar for it, so we're going to figure something else out. So get it unplugged yet tonight and go back to shelling tomorrow. So that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.